Revised everything we have covered? Pakka? Chalo. So, what was the last thing we have been discussing? Okay, ways to control inflation we have written down. Okay. Chalo. So, today, first we'll deal with few of the things that is left related to our inflation chapter, then we'll move to national income. All right. So, let's venture into this question. Is inflation good or bad? Let's talk about this. Okay. What's your opinion? What do you think about? You have learnt everything about, and you yourself saying, sir, everything understood and everything revised. So let's discuss this, है ना? Mm-hmm. 4 plus minus 2. Okay. ठीक. Other? ठीक. So, what about other people? What do you think? Healthy range. Okay. So, your point is that inflation is good if it is within certain limits. Okay? And if the limit is breached, then it is bad. Okay? Right? This is your proposition. Okay. Now, let me ask you further. You said ki if inflation is within sustainable range, then it's good. And for India, क्या है? 4 plus minus. Clear? Okay. Now the question is, let me ask you, what if inflation is 6 plus, you are saying it's bad, right? Now tell me why. Hmm. No, don't go for hyper. That's too much. That's the economy is completely destroyed then. Okay. So it's basically bad. Why? Because it reduces the purchasing capacity of the currency, which has adverse impact on almost everything, right? Chalo. Now let me give you another situation. If inflation is below 2%, then what will happen? Hmm? Okay, no demand. Other people? Okay, good, 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 good. Or? Hmm. Okay. Employment ही नहीं होगा. Agree? So if the inflation is below 2%, it means demand is less. If demand is less, means production is less. Less matlab employment will be less. ठीक है? It shows slower growth in the economy, means the GDP is less. So in this situation it is bad, in this situation as well it is bad. Okay, but the sustainable range that we have spoken about, this sustainable range, ठीक है, varies from one economy to another. All right, it doesn't depend on there is no uniformity about it. Okay, there is no uniformity about it. Okay, so if I ask you hypothetically, if I ask you America or Western Europe for that matter, what do you think? How much should be their inflation or sustainable limit? 2 plus minus 2 kind of. Okay. Other people? What is your opinion? These are hypothetical things. Tell me. Why did you say 2 plus minus 2? Hmm. Okay, ठीक है. All right. So he is right. In developed economy, yes. In developed economy, the range would be something between 1% to 3%. ठीक है. That is their comfortable limit because that would show demand. Okay, that would show demand in the economy, and as long as there is demand, there is employment. है ना? But if it goes beyond, let's say 3%, then it create problem for them. Okay, then there are certain structural issues that is emerging in their economy. All right, that is a sign of ailing economy, ill economy. Clear? Chalo. And if it falls below 1% or maybe let's say 0%, 0% inflation means there is no higher demand. GDP graph will be flat kind of graph. Or if it goes below that, then it is deflation. And if it continues deflationary trend, then what will happen? If let's say 0%, 0 to minus 1, 2, 3 ऐसे जाने लगा, then what will happen? GDP reduce. If GDP continuously reduces, it shows what? Weak economy. Any other name? Recession. It is a sign of slowdown. Deflation is a sign of slowdown. And if it goes further, then it will become your recession as well. Got it? So, very low inflation is not a good sign either. Not for developed economy, not for developing economy. Clear? So, this is the reality about inflation, good or bad. So, when we started with our journey of inflation, I made you write 3 points. 3 line लिखाया, right? And the last line, if I remember correctly, then it adversely affect different segment of the economy. That is what I made you write, है ना? But is it correct completely? Answer to that question is no. It depends on how much rate is there, and it depends on which economy are we talking about. The best part with our syllabus is we are talking about Indian economy. The syllabus is Indian economy. So we don't have to care about what is happening in America for that matter. What is their rate? तो अच्छा है ना, कम है syllabus. Otherwise पूरा international economics पढ़ना होता सोच लो. ठीक है, I would have taught economics for 6 months then. ठीक है, got it? चलो. Now this sustainable limit, it is called as inflation targeting. Every country, based on their own strength, weaknesses and all, they finally decide what will be their target. For example, when we discussed, we come to know that developed economies target will be something around 2 plus minus 1 kind of scenario. ठीक है, developed country में ये ठीक है, developing country like India 4 plus minus 2, but this term is called as inflation targeting. Other countries have started this practice of inflation targeting long back, but India adopted it in 2016. ठीक है, ये जो 4 plus minus 2 है, it was not there before 2016. After 2016, we started targeting this one. All right, 4 plus minus 2. Now put up the heading inflation targeting. ये लिख दिया? No, please draw. ठीक है, बना लो, क्योंकि अदरवाइज आई हैव टू डिक्टेट यू. फिर उतना अंग्रेजी लिखे क्या करोगे? Bengaluru climate is not suiting me well, it seems. कभी कुछ हो जाएंगे adjust in a maybe a month or so. As far as economics is concerned, okay, be assured that if you keep revising, it will be on your tip. पक्का, कोई टक्कर नहीं ले सकता है. But हाँ, if you won't revise it, then I can't help. Okay, I'll make it that easy for you. Same goes with political science. If you keep revising, most of you are in that. So keep revising that as well. हर दिन का हर दिन, and Sunday complete revision. ठीक है? Keep it simple. हर दिन whatever we have studied, we'll study in the night, revise. And on Sunday, do not read anything new. Never. कसम खा लो कि कुछ नहीं पढ़ूंगा नया. Body newspaper. And revise everything you have read in 1 week. And the last 3 days, this is a revision technique I am telling you. Last 3 days of the month, do not read anything. Nothing new. Revise everything you have read in 1 month. More revision, ज़्यादा दिमाग में रहेगा. And finally, when we have to write, we have to solve question, it is the memory that is the only thing that will help us. Nothing else. ठीक है? Now put up the heading inflation targeting. Write down. It was observed that rate of inflation in India was relatively high compared to compared to its major trading partners. Major trading partners, particularly in the decade preceding the decade of 2016. Para change. The consequent result of higher inflation adversely affected the competitiveness competitiveness of Indian economy at global level. At the same time, it was also observed that those countries were quite successful in controlling inflation, who have adopted inflation targets, full stop. Therefore, Urjit Patel committee formed in 2015-16 recommended inflation targets for India which stands at 4 plus minus 2. चलो, now put up a heading homework. ठीक है, अब होमवर्क में क्या करेंगे आप? लास्ट 4 years, 5 साल रख लो, 5 years inflation range of India you have to identify. When you will analyze that, you will find one thing. What would you find? You will find that in certain years and in certain quarters, the inflation rate of India remained more than 7%. ठीक है? Clear? Lately it has come down. Okay? Again it has shown little bit higher trajectory, abhi lately, because of war and all, you know. So you have to find out from the internet, clear? What was the reasons? I want 5 reasons why the rate of inflation was higher during that period. Clear? No, not quarter. Quarter तो बहुत बड़ा हो जाएगा. Year, take the reference as year. Okay? कितना हम लोग quarter करेंगे? Year. All right? And when it came down, CPI came down to almost 3.2% or 3.1%, something like that. Okay? Why it came down? Recent reason we already know. ठीक है? Got it? So this is your homework. कल करके ले आना, मेरे को बताना, बिकॉज आई डोंट नो द आंसर. ठीक है, यू गाइस शुड बी टेलिंग मी व्हाट्स द करेक्ट आंसर. क्लियर? ठीक है, और ऐसा नहीं सोचना कि सर को नहीं है पता है आंसर तो सर को कुछ भी बोल देंगे तो चलेगा. नो, ठीक है, चलिए. So here the topic inflation as such is over, but 2-3 more things are there. Okay, now put up the heading inflation tax. Tax. Just one moment. पंडित जी, हनुमान का अच्छा पानी नहीं है. हाँ, ग्लास भी. ठीक है, इन्फ्लेशन टैक्स. ओके, इंपोर्टेड इन्फ्लेशन वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड ना. व्हाट इज दैट? हाँ, lot of things which are already the price is higher in international market, so we are importing inflation from there. Oil, ठीक है, price is higher. That अभी का for example the inflation in today's time is not our problem, it is international problem. We are importing that problem अपने घर पे. चलो, inflation tax. Inflation tax is not a tax as such. Tax means GST, tax means income tax, 5% GST, 18% GST, all right, that kind of. So it's not like tax, but the effect is like tax. Can you tell me how? No, government is not saying Modi ji, you know, tax lenge, or our finance minister. ठीक है, फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर सोती रहती है, कहीं से सुनाई दिया टैक्स टैक्स टैक्स, जग जाती है, ओह माय गॉड टैक्स. शी इज लाइक दैट, बट शी इज नॉट इम्पोजिंग एनीथिंग लाइक दिस, है ना. स्टिल द इफेक्ट रिमेन्स द सेम. टेल मी हाउ. थिंक इट, टेल मी. ओके, हाँ, सेम थिंग. देखो, फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट्स टेक 2 सिनेरियो. एक है टैक्स सिनेरियो, रियल टैक्स सिनेरियो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल माई इनकम इज 10,000 rupees, all right, and let's say tax rate is 10%. ठीक है, this is what tax rate है ना. क्लियर? टैक्स रेट is, धन्यवाद पंडित जी, टैक्स रेट इज हाउ मच? 10%, 10%. नाउ सो इफेक्टिवली हाउ मच बच गया? She took away 1,000 rupees from my pocket. ठीक है, चलो. Now inflation situation, my earning is 10,000. ठीक है, and rate of inflation is let's say 15%. ठीक है, this is inflation rate. ठीक है, my ability to buy is how much? 8,500. Why? Because purchasing capacity gone down, that's why. Remember, effect remains the same. Here someone took the money, here no one is taking the money, but price of the commodity gone up. Mera to 10,000, 10,000. Clear? This phenomena is called as inflation tax. It's not a tax as per se. ठीक है, लिखो. It is like a hidden tax. It is like a hidden tax. Even though the government doesn't impose any tax whatsoever, any tax whatsoever, full stop. It happens because of the rise of inflation which results in reduction in the purchasing capacity which results in the reduction of purchasing capacity of the currency full stop. Hence it reduces the value of saving of the people. Therefore, the impact may appear like imposition of tax by the government. ठीक है. Now another term is दो टर्म है सेम सिमिलर मतलब ऑपोजिट. Inflationary gap. This is one term. Another term is deflationary gap. दो है inflationary gap and deflationary gap. So inflationary gap क्या है? Aggregate demand, you understand? What is that? Total demand. All right, simple. Let's not jargonize ourselves. Okay, the problem with the economics or economist is that they unnecessarily jargonize their language. Tough लगे तभी तो पता चलेगा. Economists, they have to prove themselves to the world. I am elite. है ना? How are you going to prove it? Unnecessarily jargonize it. All right. So they use these terms. But simple aggregate demand means total demand. Aggregate supply means total supply. For our understanding, that's all we need. If we would have been doing economics optional, I would have told you how to calculate it. But not needed for us. Okay. Aggregate demand means total demand. That's it. Okay. So inflationary gap simply means, forget about the gap for the time being. भूल जाओ कोई gap है. Inflation simple means demand high, supply less. So aggregate demand high, aggregate supply is less. ठीक है. So you all are demanding, ठीक है, 50 chapati. That is aggregate demand of the class. 50 chapati. ठीक है. But if I can make you available only, let's say, ठीक है, 50 नहीं 30 chapati, then it is a situation of inflation. Clear? Demand is high and supply is less. Clear? That is inflation situation. So that gap is what? Inflationary gap. But there is one condition. Condition is the condition of full employment. All right? Condition is the condition of full employment. Full employment situation means every person who is eligible for employment are having employment. Got it? I am eligible, but I am not getting job. Then I am unemployed. Okay. But this situation demands 100% employment. Situation of full employment. In the situation of full employment, if aggregate demand is high and aggregate supply is less. ठीक है, this is the graph if I plot. Okay, aggregate demand, aggregate supply. ठीक है, और सिचुएशन इज सिचुएशन ऑफ फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट. तो दिस गैप जो है ना, दैट गैप विल बी कॉल्ड एज इन्फ्लेशनरी गैप. क्लियर? नाउ डिफ्लेशन का सिचुएशन में क्या होगा? टेल मी, what will be the situation of deflation? Aggregate demand will be higher or aggregate supply will be higher? Supply will be higher. ठीक है. So aggregate, if the situation is on 100% again employment, at the level of full employment, if the aggregate supply is more and aggregate demand is less, that situation will be called as situation of deflationary gap. Clear? बस एक ही चीज याद रखना है, सिचुएशन विल बी दैट ऑफ फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट. क्लियर? लिखिए, पहले ये लिख दो, इन्फ्लेशनरी गैप. इट इज अ सिचुएशन which occurs when the level of aggregate demand in the economy exceeds the level of aggregate supply at a situation of full employment. फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट. ठीक है सर? दूसरा लिखिए, डिफ्लेशनरी गैप. When the level of aggregate demand fall below the level of aggregate supply, when the level of aggregate demand fall below the level of aggregate supply at a situation of full employment is called as deflationary gap. When the level of aggregate demand falls below the level of aggregate supply at a situation of full employment, it is called as deflationary gap. ठीक है, चलो. Okay, all right, now let's come to national income chapter. देखो, I would have started with national income. ठीक है, many people do, most of the book do. When you read the textbook, in most of the book you will find national income to be a chapter which should be read first. I don't do it. Reason is, it becomes difficult for students to understand the national income without understanding certain fundamentals, and particularly the chapter of inflation. पहले ये चैप्टर पढ़ने से आसान हो जाता है लाइफ. ओके, नाउ inflation chapter as such is considered as one of the most technical chapters. इसको बोलते हैं बहुत टफ चैप्टर. लगा क्या आपको टफ? टफ है ही नहीं, झूठ बोलते हैं लोग. ओके, similarly national income chapter is also considered as tough chapter. Okay, but when you read it you will realize whether it is tough or not. You assess it for yourself. Okay, now it is correct, there are certain formula that we have to remember. You can understand the formula as well. Okay, but by and large 3 or 4 फॉर्मूला टोटल होगा जो याद करना होगा. नहीं भी याद करोगे तो मैं समझा दूंगा, बट अगर ना समझ में तो रट लेना, है ना. चलो. national income. Now, without understanding this national income, we cannot understand GDP, and without understanding GDP, we cannot understand the paradigms of development. If we understand GDP, we will understand all kind of inclusive development, sustainable development, multi-dimensional development, 100 of development we hear in the news. You can understand that only when you will understand this topic. The other things that I told you, sustainable development, this development, that is part of main syllabus broadly. This is part of PT syllabus. Okay. Some question from current affairs, if there is certain changes or anything, they can ask in mains as well, but those are current based. Okay, those are purely current based. It has nothing to do with the core. Clear? Chalo. Ab national income means, for example, if I earn in my family, let's imagine that I am 5-membered family. I contribute 10,000 rupees. Let's say my brother contribute 20,000 rupees. Let's my sister contribute 15,000 rupees. Let's my father contribute some 10,000 rupees. The total mother is let's say she is a homemaker. Okay? How much is earning? Total kar lo. That is earning. That is family income. If we club the families, all the families, household, jitna, then it will become national income, right? So, how much a nation earns? How much a nation earns in one financial year? That is called as simple. Chapter khatam. Hai ki nahi? So, national income is that. But the problem, family income, it is easy to calculate. You will ask, sir, how much do you earn? I will say 10,000. You will go and ask my brother, how much do you earn? वो भी हो जाएगा, सब हो जाएगा, no problem. But calculating at a national level, it's a Herculean task. It's not an easy task. बहुत tough है. If this is so tough, then there has to have a, और ऐसे तो जा पूछ नहीं सकते ना हम, घर घर में कितना पैसा कमा रहे हो? Or also there could be discrepancy of data. ठीक है. There are two things people doesn't speak the truth. One is if you ask the age, people will say age होगा 40 साल, बोले कि 32. ठीक है. All right. And if you ask income, and if you have this inkling that person might ask some favor, then if your income is 10,000, you will say 6,000. But if you know that other person will not ask, और वहां पे तुमको जलवा दिखाना है, your income is 10,000, you will say 20. है कि नहीं? No one speaks the truth. Age and income, okay? लोग नहीं बताते हैं सही, okay? Now, so it's very, data discrepancy could also be there. And it's a massive undertaking. Data collection itself will cost you thousands and thousands of crore. So, we have to find a new technique. कुछ तो तरीका ढूंढना होगा. Some statics, some mathematics, some few graphs, something has to be done so that we can assess how much is the national income without going into all these details. Approximation ही होगा. It cannot be 100% correct data, but it will be an approximate data, or वो ठीक ठाक data होता है. Okay, and over the year we have refined the methodology. There is so much of research and so many of tools and other things came. तो data भी अच्छा आने लगा. तो if somebody says that my GDP is $4 trillion, $30 trillion, $20 trillion, so we can assume that yes, their income, the national income will be somewhat around this, okay, little bit up and down. Clear? So, basically national income is the income of one nation in one financial year. All right. There are many methods to calculate it. We'll talk about it later, but there are many methods. Okay. The person who pioneered it, his name was Simon Kuznets. Okay. A very famous economist. He is the one who came with this idea of the so-called GDP. Okay. Through GDP you can calculate, only through GDP you can calculate your national income. How it will, we will look into it later. Okay. But initially he has done it for defense. Okay, how much is the defense production and all? His research and his things were about that. Later on, it was used for national accounting, and national accounting is when you are accounting at the national level, anything that become national accounting, and particularly nation take deeper interest in income. है कि नहीं है? As long as income keeps growing, you are happy. For example, if my income is stagnant, 10,000 rupees for 5 years, will I be happy? Or if income decreases, मैं कमा रहा हूँ 10,000, अगले साल कमा रहा हूँ 8,000, will I be happy? No, income should increase. Okay, so every country tries their level best through employs many technique to enhance their income. Clear? थोड़ा लिखो. National income is the total monetary value of all the goods and services produced in the economy in one financial year. Full stop. Simon Kuznets, K-U-Z-N-E-T-S. Simon Kuznets, S-I-M-O-N, Simon Kuznets pioneered the concept of national income. In bracket write down GDP. National income. Para change. National income comprehensively assess the overall economic activities in an economy comma, it reflects purchasing power, comma, productivity, comma, phase of the economy, phase, P for phase of the economy, as well as overall health of the economy, Full stop. It is one of the most important and most critical macroeconomic parameter of a country. ठीक है. Now methods of calculation of national income. ठीक है, वैसे तो there are so many methods, okay, but our main focus will be 3 methods that is mostly available. वैसे देखा जाए there are more than 20 methods, okay. One is method, one is expenditure method, other one is income method. ठीक है, product, expenditure, income. Now, let's first talk about product method. ठीक है, now if you want to calculate GDP, national income, थोड़ा देर प्रोडक्ट को भी भूल जाओ फॉर द टाइम, ओके. देखो, इफ यू वांट टू कैलकुलेट नेशनल इनकम, ध्यान देना, फॉर दैट वी नीड टू कैलकुलेट NNP, ठीक है, नेट नेशनल प्रोडक्ट. फॉर NNP you need GNP, gross national product. For GNP you need GDP. So first we have to understand GDP, then we'll understand this, then we will understand this, and then only we will know exactly what is national income. आ गया ये समझ? Okay. Once we have this idea about national income, बेटा, इसी से हम फॉर्मूला से based on this we can calculate per capita income, ठीक है. From this we can calculate personal income, and once we know what is personal income, we can calculate personal disposable income, or it is also sometimes called as disposable income. ठीक है, all right. तो सबसे पहले हमको क्या निकालना चाहिए? Tell me. GDP, right? Once we know this, we can arrive at this, then we can arrive at this, then we can arrive at this. Once this, clear? ठीक है, चलो. Now put up the heading gross domestic product. इसको बना लो, सीक्वेंस याद रहेगा. Gross domestic product. Now, let's talk about GDP. ठीक है। एनसीईआरटी बुक अगर पढ़ोगे तो अननेसेसरीली दे मेड इट वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स। अभी इतना आसानी से मैं बता दूंगा, आप समझ लोगे। एवरी क्वेश्चन दैट विल कम यू विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व, ठीक है। बट दे हैव अननेसेसरीली मेड इट एक्सट्रीमली टफ। जबरदस्ती उसमें बहुत स्टॉक्स, फ्लोज, इन्वेंट्री वो सब डाल दिया है, एंड व्हाट नॉट। ओके, वी डोंट नीड दैट मच। नाउ there is two concept, where and who. Okay, one of these we will apply in GDP and another will apply in GNP. ठीक है। In GDP we apply the concept of where. Clear? Now what do I mean by application of where? Now let me give you a definition. GDP beta means that total production of goods and services within the boundary of one country. दोबारा बोल रहा हूं, the market value of goods and services produced within the boundary of one country in one financial year. Clear? दोबारा बोलो, what did I say? मंत्र पढ़ रहे हैं आप लोग, लग रहा है पंडित है 2000 ओम मतलब भगवान विष्णु एंड आई डोंट नो व्हाट, ठीक है। बट व्हाट डिड वी लर्न देयर? वेयर इट इज प्रोड्यूस्ड, हु इज प्रोड्यूसिंग, वी हैव नथिंग टू डू विद दैट। वेयर इट इज प्रोड्यूस्ड, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट। इट इज प्रोड्यूसिंग within the political boundary of India. So if a company, let's say, let's take the example of दो कंपनी एग्जांपल। वन, लेट्स टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ एप्पल। कौन से देश का कंट्री कंपनी है? यूएस। एप्पल इज यूएस कंपनी, ठीक है। दे प्रोड्यूस गुड्स हियर, एप्पल आईफोन, ठीक है। वी सेल इट इन योर नॉर्थ अमेरिका, ठीक है। The product, Apple product, the iPhone that is built here is not sold here. Okay, they are exported to US, Canada and Mexico. ठीक है। The product that we buy, if you are buying Apple here, वहां पे लिखा होगा made in China. So what is made in China is sent to India. What is made in India is sent to, but doesn't matter. If it is produced in India, GDP में काउंट होगा कि नहीं होगा? Where it is produced, India, काउंट कर लो। Similarly, we have one company, Infosys रख लो, है ना? Infosys is a big company. Infosys has offices in almost 70-80 countries, maybe more, I don't know. Okay, America में है, यूरोप में है, so many places. Now it is Indian company, but they have offices in America. They are also providing services there. Will that service be accounted in India? Why? Problem is with where. If it is not produced in, if any goods or services, if it is not produced in India, even if the company is Indian, it will not be factored in GDP. Clear? So what do we have to remember? Where, कहां produce हो रहा है? It has to be produced domestically. Clear? Now I said goods and services produced in the economy in one financial year. ठीक है। Now let me put it this way. Do you remember एक मेरा सपनों का कार था? What was the name? हाँ, थार नहीं था, वो तो हरियाणा वाले लोग का होता है, ठीक है। अपन कार चला रहे थे बहुत स्पीड में, याद है? आग लग गया था। डू यू रिमेंबर द स्टोरी? कौन सा था? हाँ, मारुति ऑल्टो. सो मारुति ऑल्टो आई बॉट. ठीक है, ओके, खरीदा. एंड आफ्टर लेट्स से 3 years my salary increased. Now I want to buy Thar. ठीक है, so I have to upgrade. But parking कहाँ? Parking का बहुत दिक्कत. So I can afford only one car as far as parking goes. Clear? So I have to sell that car, Alto, to someone. Okay? So I went to this second hand car जो dealer है ना? So many dealers are there. Okay? अभी तो बड़े बड़े डीलर भी हो गए, स्पिनी और क्या है, कार 24, ऑल दिस आर ये, और लोकल्स आर ऑल्सो देयर, है ना. सो नाउ आई सोल्ड दैट, आई बॉट दैट कार at let's say 4-5 lakh rupees. Now I sold it at 2 lakh rupees. ठीक है, which one? The Alto car. Will that be added in GDP or not? सोचो, सोचने का काम है भाई. इकोनॉमिक्स इज ऑल अबाउट थिंकिंग. Two lakh rupees. Okay. Okay. Second time we will not add. ठीक है, means if I add that 2 lakh rupees, ठीक है, if I add in GDP, then it will be double accounting. 3 years पहले जब नया था, that time 5 lakh, this time 2 lakh. The price of that one is how much? 7 lakh. Was the actual cost was 7 lakh. So there will be mistake, double accounting mistake. But the services rendered by the second hand car दुकान, but definitely he has his shop, तो कुछ तो benefit लेगा ना. So he will take some intermediary fee, that is called as commission, है ना. That commission will be added. Why? What is with the service? हाँ, but why we are adding that? No, that why we are adding only service is the question. That production to gone, goods we are not adding, but service cost, that 20-30,000 whatever is the cost taken by that shop owner, why it should be added in GDP? Okay, see, services, अभी कभी सुना है क्या second hand service? Have you heard the term second hand service? Service is always first hand. Second grade service you can say, third grade, fourth grade service. We have heard grade मतलब quality. But services are always new. For example, Abhi, I came to Bengaluru, I am teaching economics, but the economics class I have already taken in Delhi, na? That is a service, that is new service. This is a service, this again is a new service. Service is not a second hand service. Goods are second hand. Clear? Got it? So whatever I do, that will be added in the GDP. Clear? चलो, ये तो समझ में आ गया. Good. ठीक है. Okay. For example, if Maruti has produced the car and it is in the showroom and it was not sold for the entire year, ठीक है, it was produced in let's say 2026 and you happen to be the car dealer, जो दुकान रहता है ना जहां से you and I buy, ठीक है, retail दुकान. okay, showroom, but they were not able to sell it in 2026. Let's say they sold it in 2027. ठीक है, क्या इसको इंक्लूड करेंगे 2026 में? हाँ ना? नो, क्यों? ओके, ऑल राइट, ठीक है, एनीवन एल्स? What do you think? Give me reasons. It has to be wrong. If it is wrong, who cares? Don't worry. गलत करते करते सीख जाएंगे अपन. What is your thinking? Okay. Now, it will be added in GDP of 2026 itself. Any inventorized goods, कोई भी, ठीक है, if it is produced, it will be counted in GDP. It will not be sold 2028 में भी अगर हो, let's imagine, still it will be counted as GDP in the year of production, not in the GDP of the year of sale. ठीक है, एक और केस. Let's imagine you are getting scholarship from the government. ठीक है, okay. When you see it, it's your income, right? For example, when I was in my college, okay, in the first year, my father used to send me that money. That time I used to get 2500 rupees per month, okay. बहुत था वो, ऐसा नहीं है कम था, it was good amount. 800 रुपए मेरे हॉस्टल का फीस था, ठीक है, तो फिर तो ठीक ही है. Next year what happened, I worked with an NGO. They liked me. I worked for almost 2 months. Okay, they liked it, so they gave me a scholarship of 2200 या 2300. Okay, तो सब मिला के रख लो 5000. During my time having 5000 rupees per month, I was kind of rich in my college. ठीक है, 2500 was good enough to live a very good life there, and I am getting 5000 rupees now. So I look at from my perspective, that is my overall, let's say, income. कह सकते हो कि 2500 पापा and 2500 someone else, 5000 rupees, right? From that perspective, it is income. Now the question is, now the question is, can I include that scholarship as in my national income or GDP? Why? Okay. Yes. Okay. What about old age pension? जो GDP में ऐड होगा, that will finally add to the national income. Old age people, they get some pension, or during the time of election, politicians become very generous. Government also gives us money. Take 10,000 rupees, vote for us. है ना? So, what do you think? Should I add it? That's income of my income. What about For example, you will do IAS, then you will work for 30-35 years. Okay. After that, you will retire. You will get pension. Huh? Should I include it in GDP or not? Why? Tax depends on the tax bracket. Okay. If I falls under tax bracket, overall income अगर आ गया और tax bracket में आ गया, I have to pay in any case. Okay. Tax is different. Why? Okay. Okay. तो GDP में नहीं include करें, right? Okay. चलो. Now let me make you tell you the difference between, not difference. Let's first understand transfer payment. Transfer payment are those payment that is given not as a part of service received or goods sold from other person. I am the government, I am giving you 10,000 rupees, not for your service, but for your economic condition, social condition or any condition. You are old, you can't work, I am giving you money to live. Transfer payment. In lieu of that payment, you are not giving any service to me. Your situation is such that I am giving you money. Clear? So, scholarship or this sort of transfer, 10,000 rupees kind of transfer, old age kind of pension, all these things will fall under transfer payment. Now, transfer payment is not included in GDP, but the pension that you will receive after your retirement, it will be included in GDP. Reason is that pension is not given based on your economic situation or social situation or any other situation. You have worked, it was part of your own payment that was kept with the government, and the government was using that money to in the stock market or other places and generating money. So, a part of it I paid, a part of it government paid, and government did not pay it from their pocket. It appears that government pays from their pocket, but government invest that pension fund in stock market or other places, and they generate revenue, and a portion of it is given to you, fixed. I pay 200, you will pay 200, to total 400. So, that money is your own money. It is not part of transfer payment. Clear? So, it will be included in GDP. Clear? So, any transfer payment जो कि services or goods you have not sold to me, I gave you based on certain objective scenario. Clear? Got it? आ गया दिमाग में? लिख दिया जाए? लिखिए. It is the market price of all the goods and services produced within the political boundary of a country in one financial year. It is released by NSO. What is NSO? ठीक है. In bracket write on quarterly basis. Sometimes UPSC try to trick you. They will write एकदम easy statement and then they will make a twist at the end. Monthly basis they will write. You will इतना आसान कैसे था? सर ने पढ़ाया था. वहाँ पे लिख दिया monthly basis. Okay, this is their very often they do it. Okay, and particularly in subject like polity they do it more frequently. तो थोड़ा सा अच्छे से पढ़ना है क्वेश्चन. Okay. Para change. In the calculation of GDP, certain conditions are to be considered. Number one, if a foreign company produces goods and services in India, then it will be factored in GDP. In bracket write down, same example we will use, Apple producing in India. Apple producing in India, bracket close. But if an Indian company produces goods and services overseas, then it will not be considered in the calculation of GDP. In bracket write down, TCS और या ये क्या नाम बोला था, इन्फोसिस, जो भी लिखना है, इन्फोसिस, TCS, anything, any company providing services from US office. Number two, whenever there is resale of goods, in bracket write down वही second hand car, bracket close, then it will not be calculated in GDP. But the services rendered in the facilitation of resale shall be included in GDP. Now, third point, goods which are in warehouse or in showroom in bracket inventories. Inventory. Remember, inventories concept is only in goods, all right. Services में नहीं है. For example, service I am giving. What is invented? Whatever is there is inside here, right? Nothing है ना कहीं स्टॉक करके. Knowledge स्टॉक करके सर ने ऑफिस में रखा है. Is it like that? Whatever is the skill set, service, it's here. Okay? No inventory. That's why. Showrooms bracket inventory close, but it is not sold in a particular financial year. But it is not sold in a particular financial year. Are also calculated in GDP. Next. Transfer payments such as old age pension, unemployment allowance, maternity benefits, gifts, donations, scholarships, etc. are not included in GDP because government doesn't receive any goods slash service for the payment made. Para change. However, retirement pension will be included. Pension will be included in the GDP because it is given in lieu of the services the person has rendered before. ठीक है, चलो. Now let's venture a little bit more into GDP. Okay, थोड़ा और घुसते हैं अंदर. Clear? Then we'll talk about NNP. Okay, then we'll come back to the formula, little bit more about GDP. अगर मैं कहूं, if I say types of GDP, ठीक है, one is called as nominal GDP, another one is called as real GDP. Nominal and real. Now, if you go back to the chapter of inflation, there I taught you two things. Okay? One is base year, another one is base effect. Please enlighten me. क्या था? Last year. Okay. Base year is a reference period that become a yardstick from where overall things are calculated, let's say inflation, GDP, anything. Okay. And base effect is when you compare it with last year. Clear? Okay, what was the price last year? What is the price this year? You can say whether it has decreased or whether it has increased. Okay. Similarly, GDP. For example, India's GDP is 100 rupees. Okay. In the base year, GDP was, let's say, your 90. Let's say in a base year, it is 90. Let's say 4-5 years back. 90, so you can say there is increment of 10 rupees, sir, in GDP, right? Percentage terms you can calculate. Okay. Similarly, base effect means what is the last year? Last year it is, let's say, 99.5. This year it is 100. So how much is the increment? 0.5 rupees. 50 paisa increase हुआ. That's all, right? याद आ गया ना? चलो. Nominal GDP are also called GDP at market price. क्या बोलते हैं? GDP at market price. So when I call it GDP at market price, okay, and if I calculate the percentage increase, base year will be taken or base effect will be taken. Percentage बोलते हैं GDP growth rate is 7%, 8%, 9%, 2%, right? So when you say 2%, 5%, 9%, there is a reference था ना, 100 था, 105 हो गया, you can say 5% increment. Agreed? So that we will take here the reference point, the last year or the base year. Last year, ठीक है? Because it is market price. Clear? So market, or sometimes it is also called as current price. अभी क्या है? Okay, it doesn't give you the wholesome picture about the productive ability of a country. For instance, if I quote one instance, for example, imagine one country, ठीक है, that produces only one goods, no services, only one goods. Let's imagine, and that produces, let's say, onion, ठीक है, okay, क्या produce कर रहा है? Onion. Clear? Now let's see. So 2025, they produced 100 kg onion multiplied by 50 rupees. ठीक है, कितना हो गया? 500. GDP कितना हो गया कंट्री का? 500. ठीक है, sorry, 5000. GDP is 5000. Any doubt? Anyone? ठीक. In 2026, again they produced 100 kg. ठीक है, multiplied by, let's say the price is 100 this time. How much it is? Difference between this is 100%. दोगुना हो गया. तो अभी बोलोगे I am very happy. Look at me. Growth rate of India or GDP of India is 100%, twice. But in reality, does it show the correct picture? अगर डबल करना है तुम्हारे को, तो double it ना. If you double this, then you can say that my productive ability has gone up. If you are not doubling this, just because the market sentiment has changed and price has changed, You are claiming that your GDP is, now that problem is seen here because it is market price. Last year's market price, this year's market price, do the math. Alright, it doesn't tell you the complete picture. Okay. Ab real GDP is a GDP when calculated at the base year. Now this shows your real strength. Okay, how good you are in producing goods and services. Okay, तो ये बेस प्राइस, बेस ईयर, और इसको ऑल्सो कॉल बेस प्राइस भी लिख सकते हैं. Okay, base year or base price, anything you want, you can write. Clear? ये दो concept clear, everyone? Base year and nominal. Now, in today's time, the data which you see is this data, newspaper and everywhere. Government also use the same data. Okay, we'll talk about it further later. Okay, but for the purpose of reference, I made it. Okay, now let's move forward. Okay, let me write a formula. Okay. Okay, let's understand this one. MP means market price. FC means factor cost. Indirect tax you understand? Like हमारे देश में देखो तो GST है. Other taxes are also there, but in taxation chapter we'll talk about it. Abhi for the purpose of our understanding, let's say we have one, that is GST. And subsidy, what is subsidy? Okay, that's right. Subsidy means certain financial support you give to the producer, which will make their life easy. The best example is our farmers. Okay, farmers, they grow crop, government gives subsidy, for example fertilizer. If government would not give subsidies, okay, then the cost of production of in agriculture particularly, it will become almost double. The urea and other fertilizers that we buy from the market, original price is not that. Original price is something else. We have a chapter called subsidy. आगे पढ़ेंगे. Developmental economics. Clear? Fine. So, अभी ये देखते हैं. Forget about factor cost and other things. पहले एक एक वर्ड को समझो, then we'll talk about it. You understand market price? आज का प्राइस, अभी का. Clear? You understand indirect tax? Now, this is, what did I say? Financial support given by the government to the producer. इससे क्या होता है? Cost of production क्या हो जाता है? बढ़ जाता है, घट जाता है? Reduces. For example, our farmers, best example is that. Farmer में क्या होता है? fertilizer subsidy you receive, electricity is free, pani, that is free, even seeds are subsidized. If you take certified seed, then it is subsidized as well. If government withdraws all the subsidy one fine day, okay, then automatically the cost of production will go up, almost double. ऑल राइट, ठीक है, हर वर्ड का मीनिंग समझ में आ गया, इसका मीनिंग समझ में आया, व्हाट इज फैक्टर कॉस्ट? Okay, did I ever tell you about factor cost? कहीं पे and what is that level of factoring? And that will include factor cost. Simple है, it is factors of production. क्या चीज आता है इसमें? लैंड and capital, right? All right, if I want to produce something, for example I am producing services, ठीक है, तो लैंड मतलब प्रॉपर्टी, electricity, AC and all these things, labor, so many people are working, I am also working, and capital, I have taken loan to establish this, anything, working capital, every month I have to spend, है? This is the money that is injected in the production. Clear? ठीक है? So sometimes in most of the books you will see the formula to be ये इधर रहता है, तो मैं भी कर देता हूं, मुझे क्या जाता है, let me do that as well. I have, अरे no issue. बताओ फॉर्मूला, GDP at FC is equals to GDP at MP, आगे देन कोई दिक्कत है आपको? सेम, I have not changed. In most book this is the formula you will find, but why did I write this? Why am I not following the book? In most notes, okay, most teacher do that this as well. ये वाले को भी पहले लिखते हैं, क्योंकि बुक में ऐसा लिखा हुआ है, मैंने नहीं लिखा, मैं भी लिख सकता था, ऐसा क्या है? I did not write. Reason is government has shifted from FC to MC in 2016-17. Nominal GDP अभी बताया ना, nominal GDP is MP, market price. Clear? Got it? तो ये फॉर्मूला आप समझ में आ रहा है? Anything you don't understand, I'll make you understand. Both are same, मतलब if you understand this, you understand this. Do you understand this? चलो अभी I will make you understand in a different manner. One more time, all right? Let's say price of, let's say anything, for example this phone, ठीक है, phone का price is GDP 1000 rupees. Factor cost, how much money Apple has invested to get this all this, ठीक, वो है. Then it include, ये क्या इसमें GST नहीं लगा है? लगा है ना, लगा दो. If government has given certain benefit to the company in the process of production, वो government ने दिया है ना, it's more like transfers, ठीक है. हटा दो उसको, बच गया, that is the original price of this product, and that is what we calculate, final price of goods and services produced in the economy in one financial year. Clear? आगे समझ फॉर्मूला? ठीक है, चलो. So this is our formula. चलो फॉर्मूला समझ गए. Okay, now let's come, लिख दिया ना? Let's come back to this. If somebody asks you today, beta, do you understand GDP? What will be your response? Do you understand? आगे पूरा समझ में? ठीक है, तो this is done. All right. Now from here we will calculate this. Now put up the heading gross national product. GNP. Okay. Okay. GNP. Again, which concept? When, sorry, where and who. ठीक है, where and who. वहां पे क्या लगाते थे, यहां पे क्या लगाएंगे, who. नाम क्या है, ग्रॉस नेशनल प्रोडक्ट, नेशनल प्रोडक्ट, नेशंस प्रोडक्ट. ठीक है. सो व्हाट बिलोंग्स टू नेशन? देयर सिटीजन्स, their companies. In that manner, should I not factor Indian companies working abroad, their income into our income? नेशनल बात हो रहा है, तो TCS अर्निंग और Infosys अर्निंग फ्रॉम अमेरिकन ऑफिस, शुड वी इंक्लूड इट और नॉट? यस और नो? ठीक. ओके. नाउ in the same fashion, what about Apple's earning from here? Should I include it or not? No, right? Because it is foreign national. The legal entity called Apple is not Indian entity, right? It is American entity. ठीक है, समझ में आ गया? ठीक है, all right? चलो, तो so the formula इसका जो होगा वो होगा GNP is equals to GDP plus NFIA. ठीक है. Now what is NFIA? Net foreign factor income from abroad. Net factor income from abroad. नेट जहां वर्ड आ जाता है उसका मतलब है कितना पैसा गया, कितना पैसा आया. Indian company finally they will repatriate the money to our own country. Na TCS will, when TCS say my revenue is $60 billion, it's talking about the entirety of TCS, right? If Apple says my this revenue is $370 billion, Apple's revenue something like that. Okay, it means entirety of Apple, right? It's not just in America, it's entirety. ठीक है, तो simply, so Apple's income means the income which they have generated in India, that is also factored there. Similarly, TCS income or Infosys income which they have earned in foreign country, that is also factored here. Clear? तो वही चीज है, नेट फैक्टर इनकम फ्रॉम अब्रोड मीन्स कितना पैसा गया कितना पैसा आया, हाउ मच इज द आउटगोइंग मनी, हाउ मच इज द इनकमिंग मनी. ठीक, it can be positive or it can be negative, we don't know about it. That's why the sign कहां गया, प्लस, प्लस साइन इज ए न्यूट्रल साइन. ओके, सो हो सकता है इन 1 year टोटल मनी केम इनटू इंडिया. ठीक है, टोटल मनी केम इनटू इंडिया दैट इज 100, टोटल मनी वेंट आउटसाइड इंडिया इज 90. तो हम लोग क्या होंगे, 10 रुपीज पॉजिटिव, एड 10 रुपीज देयर. ठीक है, सिमिलरली in one financial year, if the total money went outside India is 100, ठीक है, and total money that came in India is 90, then there is a -10. कर दो मेरे क्या जाता है, क्लियर? तो इट्स अबाउट हाउ मच मनी वेंट आउटसाइड एंड हाउ मच मनी केम इनसाइड. Clear? Income of the company or the individual goes outside and came here. Clear? This is what it is. Now you will wonder, sir, in this formula आपने लिखा MP, FC, but इधर आपने कुछ भी नहीं लिखा, इधर आपने कुछ भी नहीं लिखा. मैंने इसलिए कुछ भी नहीं लिखा, it's up to you. You want to put MP, you want to put MP, you have to put MP formula here. You want to put FC, you have to put FC formula here. Clear? We have both the formula, it's up to you. Put it. अपने कोई लेना देना नहीं है. Whatever you want, you can put. ठीक है, चलो. So write down few things. Write down first. It refers to the total value of goods and services produced by the national in bracket Indian origin of a country across the world. Para change. For instance, Indian MNCs such as TCS earning from abroad will be factored in the GDP factored in the GNP होगा, GDP नहीं, sorry, GNP. And the foreign MNCs such as Apple, earning in India will not be factored in 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 the calculation of GNP. Factored in the calculation of GNP. Para change. Along with companies, residents also include number A, Indians working in foreign embassy, Indian working in foreign embassy of India, but not foreigner working in Indian embassies. Number 2, yeah, B. Foreign citizen living in India for more than 1 year living in India for more than 1 year except student and medical patient. ठीक है, चलिए, ऑल राइट, ये लिख लिया. We want to convert it into MC or FC, we can do it. Any problem? All right, this is done. From this we'll calculate this. Clear? ठीक. Now put up the heading net national product. NNP. चलो. So formula is NNP is equals to GNP minus depreciation. Now what is depreciation? Value goes down. For example, I bought a car. After 6 months I sold it. I bought the car at 5 lakh, and if I after 6 months I am selling the car, will there be anyone who will buy the car at 5 lakh? Why? So the point is, it is depreciating asset. Some assets are called as appreciating asset. Some assets are called as depreciating. Any consumable item, ठीक है, normally exceptions are there, but they are Like for example, you buy a phone, that phone will lose its value as the time passes. ठीक है, consumable item, consume कर रहे हैं. Okay, some are appreciating asset. Normally land, you buy a parcel of land. Today you bought it at 1 lakh rupees. Tomorrow the same car will cost further, ऊपर हो जाएगा. ठीक है, कार नहीं, सॉरी लैंड. ओके, इट विल गो अप. होम का भी ऐसे ही है, घर का भी ऐसे ही है. नॉर्मली इट अप्रिशिएट. हाँ, इन सर्टन सर्कमस्टांसेस इट कैन डिप्रिशिएट एज वेल, बट नॉर्मली दोज थिंग्स आर नॉट कंसीडर्ड एज depreciating asset. ठीक है, चलिए. So depreciation means that certain productive value is lost. इसका क्या है? Productive value is lost in the production process. As wear and tear. Wear and tear, machine है, okay, it will lose its value as it grows old. This board is a machine. When you will buy this board, 85 inch का है ये. Buy this board, it will cost you very high, I think 3.5 lakh approximately. But as it is being used on daily basis, there is wear and tear. धीरे धीरे उसका efficiency will decrease and घटता चला जाता है. That is wear and that is depreciation. It shows productive ability is going down. ठीक है. So GNP is NNP is GNP minus depreciation. Depreciation is nothing but wear and tear. ठीक है, कोई डाउट? चलो. नाउ थोड़ा लाइन लिखो, एक लाइन. It refers to the value of net output of the economy, during a financial year full stop. NNP is obtained by deducting the value of depreciation or replacement, or replacement allowance of capital asset. Replacement allowance of capital assets from the GNP. कैपिटल था, वर्किंग कैपिटल, फिक्स्ड कैपिटल. फिक्स्ड कैपिटल में क्या था? मशीन एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स. तो ये मशीन के बारे में बात कर रहा है. क्लियर? ठीक है, चलो. सो हमने निकाल दिया ये भी. क्लियर? नाउ पुट अप द हेडिंग नेशनल इनकम. नेशनल इनकम. अब एक फॉर्मूला लिखिए. नेशनल इनकम इज इक्वल टू NNP. That's it. NNP is the national income. ठीक है, दोनों सेम है. क्लियर? नाउ जीडीपी निकाला हमने, ठीक है। अगर मुझे निकालना हो एनडीपी, तब कैसे निकालेंगे? हाउ? नेट ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट एंड नेट डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट. How are you going to calculate it? GNP to GNP to NNP. Same, in the same manner इसको निकाल सकते. The moment you remove depreciation. Clear? If UPSC throws a volley at you and बोलेगा कि they start talking about net domestic product, तो ये मत सोचना सर ने पढ़ाया नहीं, दिमाग लगाने का, ठीक है, कि इसका फॉर्मूला में डेप्रिसिएशन माइनस, तो एनडीपी इज इक्वल टू जीडीपी माइनस डेप्रिसिएशन, खत्म कहानी. क्लियर? आ गया दिमाग में ये? ओके. नाउ एज आई टोल्ड यू, फ्रॉम दिस नेशनल इनकम वी कैन कैलकुलेट दिस थिंग्स. फाइन. वी कैन कैलकुलेट पर्सनल इनकम एंड डिस्पोजेबल इनकम, ओके, एंड पर कैपिटा इनकम. ठीक है, तो पुट अप द हेडिंग पर्सनल इनकम. Write just one line. Total income received by the individual of a country from all sources before payment of direct taxes in a particular year. नीचे फॉर्मूला लिखो, राइट डाउन द फॉर्मूला. PI means personal income is equals to NI plus transfer payments minus NI plus transfer payment minus social security contribution minus undistributed corporate profits. Okay, all right. नेक्स्ट लिखिए डिस्पोजेबल इनकम. ये पर्सनल डिस्पोजेबल इनकम एंड डिस्पोजेबल इनकम सेम, नो डिफरेंस. ओके, DI disposable income. Write down formula. DI is equals to PI means personal income. यहां देखो निकलेगा पर्सनल इनकम से, तो PI माइनस डायरेक्ट टैक्स. Okay, now put up the heading per capita income. Next heading, this one, PCI. Okay, now formula write down. PCI is equals to NI मतलब नेशनल इनकम डिवाइडेड बाय टोटल पॉपुलेशन। ठीक है, चलो, तो लेट्स कीप अप टिल दिस मच, अभी मोर इलेबोरेशन इज नीडेड। ओके, विल बिल्ड फ्रॉम हियर टुमारो। ठीक है, चलिए फिर मिलते हैं कल। थैंक यू।